Hi everybody, I hope your week is going well. Today should be Wednesday. Today we're just going to look at different parts of our book, like the table of contents, the photo captions, and the glossary, and talk about our words for this week, our vocabulary words. So let's get started. This is our title page, and don't forget our focus question. What makes Chichen Itza an important landmark? Don't forget, in our story, they talked about it actually was voted as one of the new 7 wonders of the world. So it isn't a very important landmark, but we want to know why. So be thinking of that as you're reading it and as we're exploring this book. Okay, the table of contents. These are our big main ideas. A building in the jungle, the Yucatan, an old city, building Chichen Itza, a special spot, seeing Chichen Itza today, a wonderful place, and then there's our glossary. Okay, so I'm going to have to get close so I can read these captions. That's why I didn't read them the first day. There were about 300 buildings at Chichen Itza. About 50,000 people lived in that area. So think about that. That's about 4,000 people that live in Seward. So there was over 10 times as many people that lived in this area. That is crazy. 300 buildings. Okay, this is the map of the Yucatan Peninsula. If you guys have a map at home you can look at, or maybe you can look up a map of Mexico on the internet, you can see where the Yucatan Peninsula is. Okay. And you can see Chichen Itza out here. So it's pretty far out there, and they said it's in the middle of a jungle, forest, farms. There's not a lot of cities around it. In 1842, jungle plants were growing on El Castillo. Today, the building has been fixed to look as it did hundreds of years ago. It was so covered with trees and vines and plants that it was hard to even see. Imagine that. Now they've cleared out all the area around it and have it out in an open area, so that doesn't happen again. Some scientists think that one of the goals of a Maya game was to get a rubber ball through the stone ring. I don't know if you guys noticed in the photo, but here is the ring that they had to get the rubber ball through. That looks even harder than basketball to me. This building, known as Casa de las Monjas, is the nunnery. It is built in the older style. So remember on this page they talk about there's older buildings that are low and flat, and the newer buildings and the Great Ball Court and El Castillo are very different looking. The Temple of Warriors is an example of the newer building style. The temple has about 200 stone columns around it. It's amazing. Cenotes in Chichen Itza were important for water and for religious reasons. So this must be a picture of one of the cenotes. There, remember they said there were no rivers and lakes. They just had these underground wells that came up. Almost like a hot springs, it sounds like. Scientists think that people may have traveled from far away to honor the rain god with gifts made of gold. Gold was not used by people in this part of Mexico. So other parts of Mexico, they did have gold, but not in this part. I believe they found these in the cenotes, like people actually threw them in the water as gifts to the rain god. A stone throw at the entrance to the Temple of Jaguars is in the shape of a jaguar. The Maya respected and feared the wild cat, and you can barely see it's a stone throne. I thought it said stone throw, but that's a stone throne in the shape of a jaguar. There are 91 steps to the top of El Castillo. I wish people could still go up that. That would be cool to do. Visitors can only see this snake once in the fall and once in the spring. Do you guys see the snake? I think this is it. There are about 12 statues like this one at Chichen Itza. Scientists are still learning why they were important to the Maya people. Okay, here's our vocabulary words. Carved means cut with care, made something such as a statue by having carefully cut and shaped stone or metal. Columns. Posts used as support for a building. They're the tall, skinny posts. Maya, notice it's capitalized. It's the name of a group of people. A people of Central America and southern Mexico who built stone pyramids. Ruins, remains of an old or ruined building. Temples, buildings that are places to pray to a god. And wells, deep holes that are dug into the ground to get water, gas, or oil. All right, guys, that's it for today. Go ahead and work on your worksheet. I'll see you tomorrow.